the Thug Life Code. This is TLC, Tender Loving Care. This is what he was trying to put across to the Crips and the Bloods in the midst of the madness to bring about a better day, to be more constructive. So Thug Life. Thug Life is an acronym for the hate you give little infants, F's everyone. This is what we discussed before. This acronym was made popular by American rap artist Tupac Shakur. The codes of Thug Life were a set of rules written by Shakur. He says these were designed to create order as gang violence and drug dealing was on the rise. It made actions against the code immoral. Do you remember I said that? We have auto-suggestion by Napoleon Hill. You have a moral compass. Your conscience. What's happened is, you remember, let your conscience be your guide, and said that these new jack youngsters, they've actually crushed Jiminy Cricket. Yeah, the idea of having a conscience. Well, this is what Tupac came to do. He put this thing forward there. These codes were signed by the heads from the Bloods and the Crips at a peace treaty gathering called the Truce Picnic in California in 1992. So let's just look at some of these. 1 to 5. All New Jacks to the game must know, A, he's going to get rich, B, he's going to jail, and C, he's going to die. That's simple enough. So he's saying if you're a New Jack, if you're going to start dealing with the drugs game and gangbanging, etc., those are 3 likely results. The getting rich means you might get richer, but watch this. Please go and check out what Chris Rock talks about, the difference between being rich and being wealthy. Yes? Or before I go on, please check this. Some people listening to this like, this is absolutely no. This is a starting point. Just say no. Stop that thing. No, that doesn't work sometimes. You have to do things in phases and stages and as part of a strategy to bring calm to a situation. Not just expect it to stop at the drop of a hat. Sometimes these things have been created by generationally. It won't be stopped overnight. It needs strategy, and this is what Tupac was doing. He was understanding, watch this, understanding some of the things that was written in The Prince by Machiavelli. Strategic thinking. Slinging to children is against the code. No drug dealing to children. Having children slinging is against the code. Don't bring those children, especially when it's supposed to be getting an education, to become the judges and the lawyers and the doctors and the nurses and the dentists and the paramedics and the whatever. Yeah, so having children slings against the code. No slinging in schools. Do not confuse the agendas. Your agenda in school is to gain the education and qualifications you paid for, not to be mixing that agenda up with bringing illicit narcotics into the school. The boys in blue don't run nothing, we do. Control the hood and make it safe for squares. Control the hood, make it safe for squares. Now let's have a look at this quickly. If you're relying on the police to solve things these days, the police themselves say they've got limited authority, especially with the way that laws are going now. So they're talking about anybody who's supposed to be a so-called gang member, crew member, should be responsible for their neighborhood and raise the game in the neighborhood. Even if they are themselves involved in illegal activity, they should be taking responsibility that certain things don't go on in that community. Know your target, who's the real enemy. You have to think through who is the person creating the circumstances that leads to the beefs, leads to all the arguments. The American program that was started off by Jim Brown, the gridiron superstar, the Hall of Famer. Well, they had Twilight Bay. He showed me this one. It says, eliminate the negative emotions, establish the facts, and choose your best options. Civilians are not a target and should be spared. I was up in Manchester one time, and you know, with the Manchester Moss Side situation, I was giving a talk in Human, actual fight. Lots of sisters there, mothers of young men and whatever. And I turned around and I believe that people understood military code. I said that, you know something, with agreement, people who's in the life, who's in the crews, who are acting as gangsters, they should wear dog tags. And, you know, what happened was some of the women in the room, they never said anything to me. What do you mean? They're right. You said that our boys are dogs. You know, they should be wearing like dogs. You got to train them like an animal. And I said, excuse me. I was like, when I heard about this, I said, do you not know what military insignia are? Do you know what military ID tags are? They call them dog tags. I said, and what happens is if they're wearing those and they get killed or badly injured, we shouldn't be, don't cry for me, I cantina. Don't be crying and spending all this thing. If the guys who made the decision to be in that life, it means we don't start portraying them as the poor schoolboy, the poor. You understand me? We know that these guys made a choice. It helps us to understand the kind of influences that are operating. And what I have to say to these sisters, if they ever hear this recording, remember, I don't call myself a dog. The Snoop Dogg, Tim Dog, and all the other dog that go on there. Bow wow wow. Little bow wow. Think of those influences that are hitting your children and they call, yo, my dog. So please take a look at that one. But what I'm saying is, you know who's civilian and who is not. When you hear about young guys getting killed who got nothing to do with the situations, but some fools with a gun don't know who the targets are and go and kill the wrong people. That's, oh no. That is terrible. So please, let's have a look at it. Civilians are not a target, should be spared. That's what Tupac was saying in this code. And then harm to children will not be forgiven. If you're shooting a child by mistake, what's that about? Abusing children, that's not right. And that's what he said. It's a bottom line, a moral compass that he's building here. Some people listening to this may not agree with it. You say it's bad, but you have to have a grounding, a foundation. And this is what Tupac was putting forward.